Spooky movies. I love horror movies just as much as the last guy, but what if I told you that one of the most popular and most terrifying horror movies of all time was made over 100 years ago? In 1922, the film Haxan, sometimes known as Witchcraft Through the Ages by Danish director Benjamin Christensen, was released. This silent horror film is unique in the sense that it openly states at the very beginning of the film that the things we're about to see are all dramatizations of real events. But trust me, these aren't like daytime Emmy-winning Judge Judy dramatizations of somebody doing some sort of petty thievery. These are horrifying. Like, keep you up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat, horrifying. Like, wondering who's standing and looming over your door, horrifying. Without that, it would probably be more akin to a documentary than a horror film, in my opinion. We're gonna do a short summary here, but just so you know, this film is available on YouTube, and you should just watch it. You can even watch it at a faster speed if you don't have an attention span to read subtitles. Not saying I did that, I'm just saying you can. Anyway, the film is told in 7 parts. Part 1. Part 1 uses a number of photographs, paintings, and wood cutouts as demonstrative pieces. In addition, several large-scale models are employed to demonstrate medieval concepts of the structure of the solar system and the commonly accepted depiction of hell. Part 2. Part 2 is a series of vignettes that demonstrate superstition and beliefs concerning witchcraft in medieval times. In what must be the most iconic vignette of the film, Satan tempts a sleeping woman away from her husband's bed, terrorizes a group of monks, then murders another woman in her bed by choking her to death. I don't care how old and cheesy this movie can be, this absolutely fucking terrifies me. Look at this dude! Part 2 also shows us a tale of a woman who purchases a love potion in order to seduce the village's monk, as well as a supposed witch by the name of Apollon dreaming of waking up in a castle where Satan presents her with coins that she's unable to hold on to and festivities that she's unable to participate in. Part 3 through 5. In parts 3 through 5, we're set in the Middle Ages. The narrative used here demonstrates the treatment of suspected witches. We are all somewhat familiar with the Salem witch trials, but seeing it acted out in such a mundane and technical way made me feel extremely uncomfortable and actually made me think of the pain and suffering of the witch trials, which I guess was the point, but damn, I thought it was just going to be watching that creep Satan run around. Part 6 and 7. Part 6 and 7 are very interesting to me. They cover how superstitions of the past have become more understood over time and how some of them can be attributed to the lack of mental health awareness. The film even goes as far to list some of the mental illnesses that could have been seen as witchcraft, such as pyromania, kleptomania, and hysteria. Just a reminder that this film came out in 1922, and it takes a more careful approach to mental illness than some of the films that come out today. The film ends on a powerful note with a contrast between a woman being sent away to a mental institution and a scene of a woman who is a supposed witch being burned at the stake. I'll be honest with you, this movie, not an easy watch. Maybe it's because my attention span's absolutely destroyed by the constant stimulation of all the things around me, and I just had to watch it in chunks. 105 minutes of a silent film is a lot to ask of anyone these days. But by the end of it though, I was really happy I watched it. Now, would I watch it again? Maybe. Let's say this. If the devil scenes were backtracked by either Metallica or some other 80s metal band, probably would make the experience a whole lot better. So what are the key takeaways? 1. This is a beautiful film for a 100-year-old horror film that was really supposed to be more of a documentary. 2. Incredibly terrifying scenery, especially considering the limitations on technology back then. And 3, well, women were very mistreated in this film, and in the past in general. Either that or they're all witches.